How
Chapter 8
earthquakes
Summary of
form.
Before the Coffee Gets Cold Introduction. Chapter 8 continues Husband and Wife, the second story in Before the Coffee Gets Cold. The previous chapters explored the emotional struggles of Kodake, a devoted nurse, and her husband Fusagi, whose memory disorder prevents him from retaining new memories. Their relationship has been tested by illness, yet their love has remained remarkably strong. In this chapter, Kodake reaches an important emotional turning point. As she reflects on her marriage and the painful changes brought by Fusagi's condition, she begins to seriously consider using the cafe's mysterious time-traveling seat. The chapter explores themes of memory, acceptance, and unconditional love, while reminding readers that the purpose of time travel is not to rewrite the past, but to understand it more deeply. Kodake faces her heart. The chapter begins with Kodake quietly reflecting on her life. For a long time, she has focused entirely on caring for Fusagi. She has ignored many of her own emotions, believing that her responsibility as a wife is to remain strong at all times. However, the constant pressure of caregiving has left her emotionally exhausted. She realizes that she has been carrying grief that she has never fully expressed. Although Fusagi is still alive, she mourns the gradual loss of the life they once shared. The novel portrays this feeling with great sensitivity, showing that grief is not limited to death. Sometimes people grieve the slow changes that illness brings into a relationship. Remembering their happier days, Kodake begins thinking about the early years of her marriage. She remembers the simple happiness they shared before Fusagi became ill. They laughed together, made plans for the future, and enjoyed ordinary moments without worrying about memory or illness. These memories bring both comfort and sadness. Comfort because they remind her of the love that has always existed between them. Sadness because those carefree days are gone, yet the chapter emphasizes that those experiences still matter. They continue to shape Kodake's understanding of love and give her the strength to face the present. Fusagi's gentle nature despite his memory problems, Fusagi's kindness remains unchanged. He continues to treat Kodake with warmth and respect. Even when he cannot remember recent conversations, his natural instinct is to care for the people around him. This becomes one of the chapter's most moving ideas. The novel suggests that while memories may disappear, a person's deepest qualities often remain. Fusagi's compassion survives even as his ability to remember fades. For Kodake, this realization becomes a source of comfort. She begins to understand that the man she loves has not completely disappeared. Thinking about time travel as Kodake spends time in the cafe, the possibility of traveling to the past becomes more real. She already knows the strict rules: the past cannot be changed. The present will remain exactly the same. She must return before the coffee gets cold. She cannot leave the cafe while visiting the past. At first, these rules made the idea seem pointless. If nothing can be changed, why travel at all? Gradually, Kodake begins to understand the true purpose of the cafe. Time travel is not meant to erase pain. It is meant to help people face painful memories with honesty. This realization encourages her to think differently about her own situation. The desire for closure. Kodake asks herself an important question. If she cannot change Fusagi's illness, what is she really hoping to gain? The answer surprises her. She does not want to change history. She simply wants to understand her husband and herself a little better. There are things she wishes she had said. There are questions she wishes she had asked. Most importantly, she wants reassurance that the love they built together still has meaning despite everything that has happened. This emotional goal reflects the novel's central philosophy. Healing comes through understanding, not through changing the past. The cafe's quiet wisdom. The cafe continues to serve as a place of reflection rather than magic. Its unusual ability to send people through time is important, but even more important are the conversations it makes possible. The staff never promise miracles. Instead, they remind visitors of the rules and allow them to decide for themselves whether the journey is worthwhile. This approach emphasizes personal responsibility. Each traveler must decide what they truly need. For Kodake, that answer is beginning to become clear. Accepting human limitations. Another theme running through the chapter is acceptance. Kodake slowly realizes that some things in life cannot be controlled. She cannot cure Fusagi's illness. She cannot force him to remember. She cannot return to the carefree days of the past. For a long time, these realities filled her with frustration. Now she begins to understand that accepting limitations is not the same as giving up. Acceptance allows people to focus on what they still have rather than what they have lost. This change in perspective marks significant emotional growth. Love beyond memory. Perhaps the most powerful idea in Chapter 8 is that love exists beyond memory. Fusagi may forget many experiences, but his kindness, concern, and affection continue to appear naturally. Similarly, Kodake's love does not depend on being remembered every moment. It is expressed through patience, sacrifice, and daily acts of care. The novel suggests that genuine love is rooted more deeply than memory alone. It survives through character, commitment, and compassion. This hopeful message gives emotional depth to the entire story. Kodake's growing courage. By the end of the chapter, Kodake feels more prepared to face her emotions. She no longer views time travel as a way to escape reality. Instead, she sees it as an opportunity to confront her feelings honestly. She understands that the journey may not remove her sadness. However, it may help her carry that sadness differently. This quiet courage becomes the emotional turning point of the chapter. Readers sense that an important decision is approaching. Themes in Chapter 81. Acceptance. True healing begins when people accept the things they cannot change too. Unconditional love. The chapter shows that genuine love continues even when memory fades. 3. Grief. Kodak experiences a form of grief caused by gradual loss rather than sudden separation. 4. Hope. Despite difficult circumstances, hope remains possible through understanding and compassion. 5. Emotional honesty. The story encourages readers to face painful emotions instead of hiding from them. Character development. Kodak becomes stronger emotionally. She learns that caring for herself emotionally is not selfish but necessary. Her growing willingness to face difficult truths prepares her for the next stage of her journey. Fusagi. Although his illness continues to progress, Fusagi remains a symbol of quiet kindness. His actions remind readers that a person's true character can endure even when memories fade. Symbolism. The cooling coffee. The coffee continues to symbolize the limited opportunities people have to express their feelings and seek understanding. Memory represents both the beauty and fragility of human life, reminding readers to value the moments they share with loved ones. The cafe. The cafe symbolizes a safe space where people can confront regret, loss, and unanswered questions without trying to escape reality. Conclusion. Chapter 8 of Before the Coffee Gets Cold is a quiet but deeply emotional chapter that prepares readers for the next stage of Kodak and Fusagi's story. Rather than focusing on dramatic events, it explores the inner transformation taking place within Kodak as she begins to accept both her grief and her enduring love for her husband. The chapter reinforces one of the novel's most meaningful messages. While memories may fade and the past cannot be changed, love expressed through kindness, patience, and devotion can continue to endure. As Kodak grows ready to face the cafe's extraordinary opportunity, readers are left anticipating the heartfelt journey that awaits in the chapter.